So a sign of personal growth is when you are able to notice and balance out how much time you spend with yourself and how much time you spend with others. Hey fam, how are you doing today? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tobi Achudume. If this is your first time here, you're super welcome. I'm so excited to have you here with me. So here on this channel, we'll talk about topics, tips and tricks that will help us grow fearlessly to the best versions of ourselves. If you're interested in videos like that, please click the subscribe button so you get notified when we have new videos up. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for being here again. I hope that you enjoyed this video as much as you've enjoyed the other ones. Please don't forget to share this video with your friends and family. Also, leave a comment in the comment section. Now, let's get into today's topic. We are going to be looking at signs of personal growth part 2. So I did a first part of this 5 signs of personal growth some time ago, and I was like, yeah, cool. I enjoyed the video. These are the signs of personal growth, but alas, there are more signs of personal growth. So I'm thinking maybe to make this a series as well, like the bad habits series, so that we can continue to explore different signs of personal growth as we begin to see them and just unravel this topic. So I'm going to tell you through this episode 5 green flags that tells you that you are becoming a better person, you're working towards your best self. So let's get into today's video. The first green flag to look out for is that you take your relationship with God very seriously. Relationship with God, not a higher power, not the universe, your relationship with God, and you are not ashamed of it. So you're not trying to be cute with it, you're not trying to be politically correct about it, or you're not trying to be accepted about how you take your relationship with God seriously. And this is a huge sign that tells you that, because in these days that we're living, where we have so many debates about religion and spirituality, so we have people that are religious but not spiritual, we have people that are spiritual but not religious, and all of those debates, how intentional you are with your relationship with God says a lot about you and your faith and how you communicate it. Also, the fact that a lot of people seem to be living life as they like, and it seems to be looking fine, like all is well that ends well. That's how you know that I was a literature student. Just makes you to see like, maybe this is not very important, but it's all really well, because you don't know what people are going through. One of the things that I am always so excited about when it comes to my faith is the fact that there is always peace that comes with it, with the things that you do, with the decisions that you make. Even when you make the wrong decisions, there is still peace that the decision is not going to break you. Of course, you're going to have the consequences that comes with your wrong decision, but you know that at the end of the day, or at the end of it all, there is a peace that comes with the fact that you know that it is going to be sorted. And that peace, like the Bible says, is not from the world. How did the Bible put it? The peace that comes with having a relationship with God is the peace that goes beyond human understanding. So it is why you would see people being peaceful in chaos, in situations that does not make sense to be calm about. And I think I did a book review on being calm in chaos. I can't remember the title of the book, but I know that I have read a book that talked about that. I'm going to have it linked here, so you should please check it out, and definitely check out the book as well, because for me to remember the book right now means that it was a very important and noteworthy book. So when you're conscious about committing to a relationship with God, and you get to the point where you know and you're now aware of the fact that your parents' faith is not what is going to keep you standing as you're becoming an adult and growing and seeing different life issues and challenges and all of that, then you are growing, and it's a huge sign of growth that you should be grateful to notice, or grateful to even see and have, because a lot of people still do not have that, and you have it and you're conscious about it, and that is great. So congratulations to you. And this relationship with God is really the start of something new, in my High School Musical voice, because having a relationship and a conscious relationship with God is the start of transformation in your life. So when you start to see that you're conscious about that, it begins to transform and just change everything about you. So your character changes, the way you approach life changes, the way you see things changes, and it just kind of transcends into every other aspect of your personal growth. And this is why I have said it first. If you are noticing a personal, intentional, conscious relationship with God, then that's a sign of personal growth. Number 2, you're mastering a balance between caring for yourself and caring for others. This is another huge debate that we have with ourselves. So you don't know when too much is too much when it comes to doing things for yourself, which we would like to call being selfish, and when it is becoming too much to be giving all of your time and attention to others, which you would say you're now becoming a people pleaser. So a sign of personal growth is when you are able to notice and balance out how much time you spend with yourself and how much time you spend with others. How quickly it is for you to give up things for your friends, or when it is time for you to say, you know what, I need to pay attention to me and that is what I'm going to do, and not feel guilty about it. There's a very thin line between being selfish and being conscious of self-love. I don't know the way to explain that, because there are things that you would do that tells yourself that you love yourself and you're paying attention to yourself, but when it becomes at the detriment of others, then that's being selfish. So mastering this balance means that you know when to pay attention to those around you and things that are happening around you, and when to pay attention to you and the things that are happening with you and within you. So you know when to make time for your friends, you know when to make time to go for that hangout and that celebration with your friends. You also know when you need to say, you know what, I cannot come out today because I have neglected myself all week and I need to give myself some time. You know how to balance these things, and balancing it means that when you're even doing it, you're not feeling guilty about it, because you know that it's a balance between being there for you and being there for friends and family. It is also you knowing when you need to be a shoulder for your friend to cry on, and picking that over staying in the house, catching up on a report that you have read 4 times and you want to go over for the 5th time. So that balance is another sign of personal growth. You know when to be there for your family and your friends, and you know when to be there for you. And you choosing which one does not affect you. Number 3, you know your self-limiting beliefs and you do the work in reframing it immediately. So if that is by studying the word, affirming yourself, reminding yourself of the things that you know are working great for you, you're able to do it and you're willing to do it, rather than dwelling in the dirty place that you are in with self-limiting beliefs. This sign means that you have gone from saying, I will never be good enough for this thing, they're never going to pick me for this thing, to you saying, I'm going to put my best foot forward and take a huge risk on myself. If they say no, then it means that it is not for me and I'm just creating space for my years to come. It's 2 different beliefs, but they are both beliefs that you should swap for each other. So this sign of personal growth does not mean that you don't feel imposter syndrome when it comes, which I'm just going to use as my base example for this. It just means that when this imposter syndrome comes, you're not going to allow yourself to dwell in it and begin to see your achievements and your accomplishments as a fraud or as you being a fraud. But when you see imposter syndrome or you begin to sense it coming around you, you're very quick to remind yourself that the fact that you're feeling like a fraud is because you have achieved and accomplished things, and you know that you are not a fraud because you did the work to achieve and accomplish those things. So you're able to immediately fight self-limiting beliefs when they come, where you're able to also fight doubts when it comes, because you know that whatever it is that you're thinking, you're only speaking from a space of negativity and fear, and that's not where you want to be. One of my favorite scripture, and I know that I say this a lot, but I have so many favorite scriptures, but one of my favorite scripture is that do not let corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good for the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. You see how I said that thing? I learned that thing as a memory verse. And it wasn't even my memory verse, but that aside, the important thing I want to pick out of this thing is that you should not let any corrupt communication come out of your mouth to those that hear it. Guess what? You hear the words that you say as well. As I'm speaking to you today, I am hearing what I am saying. So while you're being conscious about not letting corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth to other people, you need to be conscious of it not proceeding out of your mouth to yourself as well. So if you can hear the things that you say, then don't listen to the negative things that you say about yourself to yourself. Because these self-limiting thoughts, self-limiting beliefs, self-limiting things that we say, they are not speaking grace to you. Grace is graceful. Telling yourself that you are a fraud is not graceful. Telling yourself that you can never make it in life is not graceful. So a sign of personal growth is you knowing that self-limiting beliefs would come, but it's not for you to dwell on those beliefs or those thoughts, but to reframe them and to switch your language up. So if you have to affirm yourself, affirm yourself. If you have to study the Bible, study the Bible. And I have a book of affirmations I'm going to have linked in the description bar. It's completely free, but you should get it because it helps you to speak life to yourself and to your day every single day. Number 4, you show yourself compassion. So sometimes, and I know that a lot of us do this thing as well, sometimes I legit just sit down, and it happens sometimes consciously and unconsciously, and you just begin to think back on some of the things that you did, some of the words that you said to people, and you're just thinking of all of these things, and you're just like, wow, what could have been happening, or what could I have been thinking that would make me to say such, make me to do such. I am just thinking about these things now, and I'm just laughing because I'm like, now I know that I wouldn't do those things again. So now me in this moment, when I reflect on those things, I reflect on it and I'm like, well, I learned from it. I know what to say now. I know what not to say. I know the things to do and the things not to do in certain situations that I would find myself in. But there was a time when I think on those things, when I remember that I said those things or I did those things, I'm feeling very terrible, and I'm telling myself, like, how could you have been so stupid to do those things? Me then was not very compassionate because I expected myself to know the things that I know fast forward, which I couldn't have known if I had not gone through those things. I hope that was very explanatory. So there are times when it happens, you think on some of the things that you have done and you feel bad, like you are doing it again, like you have just done it again when you reflect on those things. Showing yourself compassion is you choosing to learn from those things and seeing it as your younger self making those mistakes, not you today. You today knows not to make those mistakes again. And so showing yourself compassion means that you see those moments as, yeah, I was younger then and I've learned, rather than beating yourself up as if you have done it again today. So showing yourself compassion today means that when you see that you're making a mistake or you see that you have made a mistake, you choose to learn from those mistakes so that you don't repeat those mistakes. You tell yourself that yes, you made this mistake, but you know better how to not do what you did that led to you making that mistake. And I talk about what to do with your mistakes in this video here. You should check it out because it helps you to know how to handle your mistakes or errors better. Number 5 sign of personal growth I'm going to share with you today, which is a green flag, is that you are now comfortable with discomfort. So one of the things that my colleagues at work said to do recently was to go for skydive. It's not skydiving. It's like the one that you walk over the bridge, over open space. And immediately they said it's like that was going to be our team building. I said, no, absolutely not. I am not going to do that because what? I'm Nigerian, and Nigerians, we don't go and look for trouble. And then after that, I was thinking, you know what? What's the worst that can happen? I get stuck there, laugh at myself, my colleagues laugh at me, we have a good laugh about it, and we move on. I have not decided if I'm going to do it, but the point that I'm sharing is that when you see things that you normally would not think you should try, you are not very sure. You don't take it as a thing to be irritated by. Yes, you don't take it as something to be irritated by. You don't take it as something that you would never try. And so you're not afraid to try new things. You're not afraid to take a different turn. So you've been in a particular industry, niche, business type, something for a long time, and you're now thinking that it's time for you to make a switch. Like people that have switched from banking to tech, or people that switch from one field to another field. You don't feel very repelled, that's the word, about this thing because you're comfortable with the discomfort that is going to come. Because you know that if you're going to make that switch, you're going to do what you need to do to make sure that you excel at that place that you're now going to. So being comfortable with discomfort means that you're now willing to try things that you normally would not try. You're open to going on solo dates because you don't see it as you going out because you're lonely, But you seeing it as you going out because you know what, I enjoy spending time with myself, and I would rather go out and enjoy this restaurant than go out with somebody that I have to be chatting with all the time. It also means that when people suggest that you try new things, when people suggest new things to you, you don't see it as, oh my god, this is so out of my comfort zone, I don't want to try it, but you're open to trying it. And when I say this, I'm not saying open to trying bad things or open to trying things that you will now try and you will say it's Tobi that said I should try this thing out because it means that I've grown personally. That's not what I mean. I'm saying things that you know would work for you, things that are for your benefit, and things that you know if you do this thing, it is going to push you towards being a better version of yourself. Those are the things I'm talking about. So you are open to experiences, you're open to opportunities, you're open to doing things in a different way. So if somebody suggests that you try a different approach to work, you are willing to try it because you're expecting it to be better, even if the way you have been doing it is better. But you want to try it because you know that there is no knowledge lost. There is no lost knowledge. So these are 5 signs of personal growth that you should definitely be paying attention to. They are green flags that will tell you that you're moving forward, you're moving in the right direction when it comes to your personal growth. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you did. Click the subscribe button also to be a part of this family. Share with your friends and family. Leave me a comment in the comment section, and I will see you guys in the next one. Till next time, bye.